Hi, this is Tino with Music You Can See. We're here at the Rose in Pasadena, and I'm here with a legendary voice, Tony Hadley. Hi, Tony. How are you?
Hello. I'm very hot. We are backstage at the Rose in Pasadena, but it's like 109 outside. It's a very hot day, but no, good. I'm very well, mate. Good to be in America and enjoying it. The audiences have been great, so having a good time.
Nice. You've always kind of had this fashion plate, you know, Armani suit and tie. Were you already planning the crooner career for you?
Not really. I mean, I've always been into, I think it's well documented that, people like Jack Jones and Tony Bennett, Frank Sinatra, Mel Torme, Ella Fitz. I've always loved that kind of music because my parents played that kind of music when I was a kid growing up. But, I never consciously thought, one day I'm going to become a crooner and therefore I better get suited and booted. Because in the early days of Spandau, we were all part of the club culture that came from London, which was post-punk. So it was very outrageous, very kind of
to cut a long story short, that video I remember.
Yeah, I mean, we were wearing clothes that our parents wouldn't be seen dead in. But that's what being a teenager is all about. But then when we hit the true period, the whole kind of image of the band changed. And that was slightly influenced by what was going on in the clubs. But, we were becoming, I suppose, in a sense, more mainstream. And number one went to number 4 in America for 4 weeks, number 1 in 21 countries around the world. So all of a sudden the style of the band kind of changed as well. So and I liked that kind of suit and boot look. I mean, Robert Palmer,
absolutely.
A lovely man, and bless him, he was a great chap. And I always thought he looked so cool. And when we talk about Bennett and Sinatra, they always looked so cool.
So you were talking about, you did a swing album, Standards. Go ahead and, I guess they were your influences growing up. Talk a little bit about it.
I wanted to do a swing album because I've always liked that kind of stuff. But I felt that, Robbie Williams, Westlife, and everyone else had covered the whole Sinatra kind of songbook. And I'm a massive Jack Jones fan, and he's a really lovely guy. And when he comes to England, we normally have a glass of wine or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And he's a fantastic singer. And so a lot of the songs were from his repertoire, Wives and Lovers and The Mood I'm In, and he's got a great arrangement of Bewitched, Bothered and Bewildered, which is an amazing arrangement. But also touched Love for Sale, which was originally Ella Fitzgerald, Tony Bennett.
Okay.
And a couple of classic kind of, Tony Bennett songs like The Good Life, which I was like, that's just a magnificent song.
Tony Bennett's 91.
He's still singing great.
So now you've got how your longevity is going to be. You've already got it mapped out for you.
I don't think I'm going to get to 91, but he must be taking the right pills. I will sing for as long as I can sing for. Thank God, touch wood, the voice is still.
And the power and strength. I heard your sound check.
Yeah.
Did you train opera at all? Because you have that kind of strength.
Yeah, I did for 2 years with a singer called Pamela Dodds, a Canadian opera singer. And she was amazing. She was fantastic. And she wasn't about making me sound like an opera singer. She was about preserving, my voice. You're going to be doing a lot of gigs, and you've got to have the stamina for that. And I think my stamina is better now than even when I was a kid.
It's a muscle, and I guess as you work it out in the gym.
Well, it's exactly the same thing. But also, when we were kids, we cut our chops on the cut our chops. I don't know how you say that in America, but we cut our. When we were 16, we were playing clubs and pubs and stuff.
Right.
So more often than not, you couldn't hear yourself on stage. You didn't have any monitors or anything. There was no such thing as in ear. So you were sometimes, you come on stage, your voice would get stronger, and it would develop. And I think for a lot of, certainly some singers that I've noticed recently, they're having a lot of problems with their voice. But maybe it's because they haven't done that whole kind of club and pub thing.
Interesting.
Where you've kind of cut,
so
cut
the
your
foundation
voice.
of you growing your voice when you were.
And we did loads of. We played every pub and club in London.
Well,
especially during the punk
How
period.
old were you when you first started singing for real?
Well, we formed the band when I was 16 at school, but I started singing and doing talent competitions when I was about 14.
Okay. Because were your parents in the music business?
No, well, my dad, by all accounts, played the violin, but
Okay.
he never had a violin.
Wow.
And so I don't really know. My family's a very kind of typical London Cockney family, and you'd have parties and people would get and sing around the piano. But I don't really know where it came from.
Interesting.
If I'm honest.
What was the first music that grabbed you as a kid? When you were 14, Beatles?
Well, the first album was, David Bowie, The World of David Bowie.
Wow.
And my uncle had a record shop, and he gave me this record, The World of David Bowie. And my mum and dad had a little kind of old-fashioned kind of record player and stuff.
Hi-fi.
And I played it, and played it, and played it. And my mum, when she first heard it, she said, "Is this the new Anthony Newley record?" Because David Bowie in the very, very early days sounded a lot like Anthony Newley.
Interesting.
You know, so I said,
like
"No, Mum, this is David Bowie." You know, and I've always thought he was an amazing guy. I met him a couple of times. A really nice chap. Very sadly missed. I mean, obviously we've lost a lot of people. These
Michael.
George Michael. That was a real shock.
You got to carry that torch now.
Yeah, it was very, very, very weird. Prince, another one,
Right.
and
Right.
Glenn Fry, the Eagles. I mean, it's young guys.
Right.
So it's been Leonard Cohen. I mean, the Lemmy while we're drinking with him in LA.
Absolutely. But Leonard Cohen, you bring up, that's real interesting because I really love him as a singer.
Yeah.
But
well, he's kind of a bit more than a singer. He's
a poet. He's
Yeah.
or was. He's a guy that kind of had a career later in life.
Well, he did, yeah, because
it wasn't like when he was younger.
it wasn't really fashionable to like Leonard Cohen years gone by kind of thing. He was a kind of real niche market. And then all of a sudden people started to discover his amazing talent, and they were, oh yeah, actually this guy's really cool.
And then his unique voice, So that's interesting that you brought him up because a lot of singers I know, Leonard Cohen, Oh, but he's a true artist.
I think anyone we lose in the music business is terribly sad.
Absolutely.
And like I say, Lemmy, I loved Lemmy. He was
so
great.
You got to know Lemmy when you...
Yeah.
Because I think he was based out of LA, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've been drinking with him in LA. So, every year we when we do the Brits and the British Music Awards in London, and we see all the various people we've lost. It's very, very sad.
Wow. So you're finishing up. I know you're on a big tour out here in the U.S., but you're also doing a lot of solo dates. You're finishing this up. What do you have after this? You go back.
We're last few dates. We've been here about 2 weeks and with the Lost 80s and stuff, which has been great fun. We've had a lot with Wang Chung, Cutting Crew, and Missing Persons, Naked Eyes, Berlin. They're great, and all the guys there and girls have been fantastic, and so it's been really, really cool. But the thing is, I want to come back to America more and more, and trying to make more and more inroads. I mean,
have you ever thought of relocating to the U.S.?
I did many years ago. I really thought I was going to come,
because a lot of British artists have.
Yeah. The trouble is, I like the seasons. I cannot do this heat. The heat.
heat's not normal.
I know. And LA is really nice normally.
It's usually.
But I love LA. I love America and the West Coast and the East Coast. New York's fantastic. Boston, Philly, love Philly. My aunt lives outside in Chicago as well, in Florida.
Nice,
I've got mates down in Florida. So there's a lot of Brits spread all over America. But my heart is in England, and I'm a pub man. I live in the country. And I like going to the pub, a pint of, as you say, warm, real ale. Just, your home's your home kind of thing. And all my big children live in London, and my mum and my auntie and stuff.
Yeah, you
and
can't
family.
leave your family.
So that's the other thing. I mean, as much as I love LA, and I've flirted with the idea of coming over here so many times, it's quite a long way to leave. My mum's near 85. But listen, it's 13 hours, 12 and a half, 13 hours. I want to come over and do more touring and stuff like that. Because obviously, Spandau Ballet is one thing, Tony Hadley's another thing.
Right.
And I've recently, I was put in a position where I quit the band, and which caused a bit of I couldn't believe how many people around the world were like, oh my God, he's quit the band. I will be making a statement at some point, but for legal reasons I can't now. But, I just got to the point where I quit the band. So I'm there firmly on my own. New album. Been writing with some of LA's great songwriters, and
really, so you've been writing with some Americans?
Yeah, I went to see Toby Gadd and a couple of songs from him, which are fantastic. And then Pam Shane, we're going to do some writing, and Maris Free. And so there's a lot of I'm going to be coming over again to do some more writing. Nice.
Do you record out here at all, or you record all back at?
Pretty much all in the UK, because I got a studio literally half an hour from where I live.
Okay, nice.
And I got a whole bunch of songs that are written or co-written, and we're pretty near. I've been talking about this solo album for so long. We're pretty close to having it finished.
You say co-write, so is it real important for you to write a song that you're going to record, or do you just record the song because of the song?
I record the song because of the song. I mean, the two songs from Toby Gadd, I mean, I didn't have a hand in the writing and that. I just went, wow, I love those two songs.
Right.
And Toby is really, really lovely. but most everything I've ever written on my own or written with other people, some band songs as well. And we're going to do three new songs tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we're going to do some fun covers. We're going to do some Spandau stuff, obviously.
Yeah, I heard Free Falling. I didn't know Free Falling was a soul song.
Yeah, well,
there's some soul there, man.
It's kind of, well, I'm a fan of a lot of American artists. I mean, like Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, you know, Hall & Oates there. I love Hall & Oates. Well, we're rehearsing Rich Girl because I want to do Rich Girl one day.
Nice.
And so we're working out the ending. But I'm a massive Daryl Hall fan. I mean, and John Oates is great songs, great singers.
Yeah, they were just on tour through here with Tears for Fears.
I know, I heard. Yeah. Tears for another great band, Tears for Fears. Yeah, fantastic. So yeah.
Nice.
So I want to come back.
Well, Tony, please come back because you're always welcome to be, at least in Southern California where we're from, because you know, love to see you perform live and love to hear your strong vocals.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I have to say, I mean, the American audiences have been absolutely fantastic. You know, because I wasn't sure what the reaction would be like, but they've been absolutely first class, really enthusiastic, singing along and everything, and the reviews on Twitter, Facebook, and all that malarkey have been really positive. So thank you very, very much.
And you know what's interesting? Going back to True, real quick, did you realize it was actually an adult contemporary hit? When you recorded it, you were recording it as youngsters.
I was 23.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's become an adult contemporary hit on those stations.
Well, to be honest,
did it change into that genre?
I think it maybe. Well, it was kind of a bit of Blue Eyed, you know, kind of white blue-eyed soul. I mean, I didn't think True was a single. So it shows you how much I know.
Wow.
Well, because it was so out the box for Spandau Ballet. Before that, we were, you know, we could have gone down the road of Depeche Mode.
Right.
If you listen to Cut a Long Story Short, which we'll be doing tonight, it's very kind of.
That's my favorite song. Actually.
Yeah, I love that period actually.
Or you could have gone the Duran direction too.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big Duran fan anyway. I love.
Well, you were their competitors.
Yeah. Well, their last album, Paper Dolls, great, really good album.
Nice.
And so I like what they do. They're never afraid to kind of challenge themselves and be a bit more contemporary, and I kind of like that. So that's kind of where my new album's kind of coming from as well. Great songs, but quite contemporary. I listen to a lot of my number 4 child, Zara. She gets me into loads of new music, so like Chainsmokers, 21 Pilots, Ariana Grande.
Wow, so she's got you at the cutting edge.
She's got me, and I'm listening to lots of these production techniques and stuff.
Right.
And it's good. It's good. So music's good at the moment. There's some great new acts out there.
Yeah,
it's not just about nostalgia. There's some great acts.
There is, and I think the like Bruno Mars resurgence of like Motown soul.
He's an amazing singer.
You know, I mean, that just keeps.
I think I'm a bit taller than him.
You are, and that just keeps what you're doing more up front. And I just wish more of the kids would get it.
Yeah, no, I do. But you know, people go on about the 80s and 80s. The 80s are fantastic, but I live for today, and I try and. When I'm listening to music, I'm trying to incorporate that kind of production, that songwriting style into what I'm doing as well. And so I'm still like a kid in a sweet shop, still excited. So
Nice.
It's good.
How can we here in America find you? I mean, what's your website?
So the website is www.tonyhadley.com.
Well, Tony, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Always welcome in Southern California.
I'm sweating so much, but trust me, it is seriously hot backstage.
Wait till you perform tonight.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank
Tony
you.
Hadley, Music You Can See. We're at the Rose in Pasadena.